Hi there, everyone. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth, and today we are joined by Tim Moen, the leader of the Libertarian Party of Canada. Tim, first of all, congratulations on getting the leadership. When did you first find out about that?
Just found out yesterday. It still feels weird hearing you say Tim Moen, leader of the Libertarian Party of Canada. I'm still trying to get used to that title. It's a little bit surreal. I felt when they announced my name and I had this overwhelming support from the membership, I felt immediately excited and happy and energetic and enthusiastic, but I also felt this kind of weight settle in on my shoulder, like this is serious business. Liberty is not something I take lightly, and as a firefighter, as a leader on the fire department, as a captain, I have the life of my guys are at stake with my leadership. But this is even more important than that. There are lives at stake right now in Canada and around the world, and the world needs people to step up and be heroes and take this stuff seriously. So I take it, so as happy as I was to hear the announcement, I had that weight settling on my shoulders immediately, and so it was down to business.
For Canadians who are first learning about the Libertarian Party now, what does liberty specifically mean to you, and what does the party push for in that regard?
So liberty is simply the recognition that people own themselves and their actions in the world. So they own both the benefits of their actions and the harms of their actions. People often forget about that. They think that libertarians are all about propping up corporations. Well, modern day corporations are all about privatizing the benefits, which we're all for, but they're also about socializing the harms. And that's the part that often gets missed in the message of libertarianism. So we're about owning your actions, the benefits and the harms, and if you harm someone, restoring them to justice. So liberty is not just about, I should be able to protect my marijuana plants with guns and marry the same sex. It's also I need to be careful how I behave in this world towards others. I need to respect them, and if I do harm, I need to fix that, and I need to restore that person. So it's about being a responsible citizen of this world. That's what liberty really means. Well,
tell us a little bit about the meme there. You gained notoriety, a global attention, really, from that meme. How did that come about? And tell us a little bit about how you came up with that, really.
Well, I mean, I can't take full credit for this because it was a meme that I'd came across a couple weeks before, and when we launched the campaign, we were kind of trying to think of something that would summarize and put us on the map a little bit, and that meme kept popping in my head. It just was perfect, and I'm not sure who came up with that wording. Thank you. It was brilliant, and it's something that I endorse. So my campaign team said, why don't we put this out? And I said, yeah, that'd be perfect, and we'll see what happens. And we came up with a number of different memes. That one seemed to resonate the most. It resonated with me the most too, so it's no surprise. From there, it was picked up by, it was just kind of this organic movement, right? There was a kid from Montreal, I think, that just was relentless with tweeting it out and getting it recognized, and suddenly it was retweeted about 30,000 times or something like that. We saw it on French TV, we saw it on New Zealand. The big bump was when Nick Gillespie from Reason magazine caught wind of it and did a quick little blog about my campaign. From there, CNN contacted me, Fox contacted me. We've been on This Hour, has 22 minutes being lampooned, Gawker's lampooned us. So we're at the point now where they've stopped ignoring us. Now they're making fun of us a little bit, so we're making some progress.
Well, it seems it kind of focused on the freedom of the individual, and is that kind of what it comes down to? Is individual liberties and individual freedoms? Is that what the party is for?
Yeah, that's exactly it. We recognize that that society is comprised of individuals. It's not comprised of abstractions of entities. It's comprised of people, flesh and blood humans. And so if flesh and blood humans don't have rights, if they don't have freedoms, if we don't respect their liberties, then we don't have a society that's free. We don't have a society that's just, and the so-called greater good is not being served.
here in Canada, by and large, some would say we almost have, similar to the American system, almost a two-party type system. So how important do you think it is here for Canadians to have the option of a party like the Libertarian Party?
Well, I think it's very important. It's important on a number of levels. Even in my riding, for example, this upcoming by-election, we've already had more success than I could have hoped, and I'm hearing rumblings from conservatives that maybe they wish I would join their party and be part of that, and even politically in the provincial legislature, there's some rumblings that maybe Tim would run for parliament or run for legislature here. So even without having any votes cast yet, even without being a quote-unquote politician in a legislative body, this campaign has already changed the narrative of the political landscape in Alberta and in my riding. So it's making the other parties more accountable to the message of liberty, and so it's very important that these parties, like the Libertarian Party, are out there and active. And even if they never get elected, they make a huge difference in the political landscape. But of course, my goal is, that people are so sick and tired of the status quo. They're sick of having polished products put in front of them by slick, snake oil salesmen. That they want a message of authenticity. They want someone who's real. They want people that are like them, that are speaking the truth and that are principled in office. And so there's a real, I sense that there is a real opportunity here for the Libertarian Party, for people that have this very different message and very different way of being in the world from the other parties. So I think we're poised for something big here. I think I get the sense, and I'm hearing all sorts of feedback from my constituents, from people around Alberta and around North America, and especially young people. They're saying, yes, please, this. We need this. We're ready for a change. We don't want the status quo. The system is broken. We get that the liberals and the conservatives are no different. That all these parties want is to grasp the ring of power and force their slightly different agendas on everyone. And they're sick of it. And people are waking up. So that's the sense I'm getting. So I think we're on the verge of a big paradigm shift here in general in society. And it's exciting to be on the right side of history.
Absolutely. Are there any issues in particular that you are finding are going to be key in regards to bringing this message of liberty to Canadians?
Everyone has, different messages resonate with different people. That meme obviously hit a lot of people. It speaks to individual and civil liberties. There's some things that are going on in Fort McMurray and in the oil sands region. It's a hotbed of this kind of war of ideologies, this power struggle between, say, socialist forces and fascist forces. And there are real victims there. Aboriginal people are having their land taken away from them, their property rights stricken from them. There's worries about pollution and cancer risks from industry. Again, it's that socialization of harm and privatization of profits that's a real issue. And so we're seeing this kind of outcry against that sort of thing. And I think that message of environmental and property rights, which are one and the same really, is going to be a big issue up in Fort McMurray. We get constant environmentalists up there, and Fort McMurray citizens are very environmentally conscious, believe it or not. There's a lot of green technology coming out of there, and so I don't think it's quite the conservative stronghold it once was, because the Liberals and the NDP keep harping on environment, but of course they don't really have the answer to it. But the Libertarian Party does. I mean, private property is the way forward on environmental issues. So what I would like to see, part of the platform is give Aboriginal people their justly acquired land to control the way they want. I don't have skin in the game. Industry is a good force for the world. The tar sands, the oil sands do a lot of good in the world, but they also create some harm. And we need to minimize the harm. We need to get rid of the harm. And part of that harm reduction strategy is just enforce property rights, allow Aboriginal people to have their land and have complete veto power. And they can say, you know, this is my land. If you want to develop here, these are the very stringent rules I require. These are the regulations, the monitoring, you know, I need you to have billions of dollars in escrow to restore this land, or you're not going to develop it. You know, they could come up with whatever rules they want. The point is they're in control. They're making the rules, not the government. Or they could just say, no, we're just going to keep this traditional hunting land, no oil companies allowed. And that's great. That's the way forward. So right now, you know, the debate is kind of couched in, are you pro oil sands or are you anti oil sands? Well, no, that's not the point. It's, you know, are you pro Keystone or not? Well, I'm against expropriating land from farmers to push that pipeline through, and I'm against Obama expropriating property from Keystone, saying you can't connect the pipeline there. So we need to build this pipeline peacefully or not at all. That's my point.
Well, a lot of the times when we look to where the harm is coming from, and you follow the money, as it were, and oftentimes it leads towards centralized bankers. Is there any kind of a do you hold a position for monetary reform? Is that something that the Libertarian Party is going to focus on?
Absolutely. You know, monetary reform is huge. It really is the center of a lot of our issues in Canada. You know, the people need to have the power to create money and to use whatever money they want, and that is stripped from them. So, you know, that's why I'm excited to see things like Bitcoin emerge on the market. That is totally, you know, government can't control it. You know, they can try to regulate it, they can try to control it, but I mean, you can walk out of a country with Bitcoin in your head. Literally, you can just memorize the blockchain sequence, and how are they going to stop you from taking that money out of the country? How are they going to stop you? So you can't tax it, and when they can't collect, when the bill payers, you know, when the war hawks and the corporatists and the globalists can't fund their you know, their projects at the point of a gun anymore, when that's not options not available to them, then we're going to start to see real change in society. So yes, we push for monetary reform, we push for getting money back in the hands of the people, and I think it's going to get there before we even touch the laws, before we even get libertarians in office. That's the beautiful thing about what's happening in the world right now. People are grabbing the power back without having to rely on a libertarian politician to do it for them, and that's great.
Well, it's an incredibly exciting time to have someone such as yourself involved, somebody who's awake to these issues. So it's an exciting time for Canadians everywhere. Where can people go to get involved with your campaign and to learn more from you moving forward?
Sure. Well, I mean, you can go to our party website, libertarian.ca. My campaign website has a lot of links and links to my Facebook and Twitter feed, and that's votemoen.ca. So those are the two places. You know, look me up on Facebook, Tim Moen, and friend request me. I'm happy to have lots of friends. You know, I'm a global citizen, and you know, the more people I can have conversations with and talk to and get their feedback on, the more change we're going to be able to do. And you know, I want to be able to invest my energy where it's going to make the most impact. So the more people I come in contact with, the more awareness that comes to me about the good things people are doing across this country in terms of activism and making a change, the more opportunity I'll be able to bring to bear the resources of the party and my efforts to help. So I'm here to help and serve and serve the cause of liberty. And yeah, I'm really excited. I'm excited to be here. You know, is that Rob Ford?
Oh, the guy staggering?
Yeah. No, you know, I'm excited to be in Toronto. I'm excited to be here with you guys, and thank you for all the work you guys do to bring awareness. This is a team effort, and I'm excited about this.
Absolutely. Well, it's an exciting time, and again, we wish you all the best, and we look forward to seeing what you can do, man. It's time to turn this country around. So once again, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks, Dan.